What's up, guys? It's Logo back with Flex Appeal episode 113. Today was week 19, day 5, my secondary push day of the week. I started off with some Duffalo bench, bringing this one back in the rotation. One of my favorite off-season tools to use, my bars. It's either usually this or a dumbbell bench. But this is just a little bit more specific because it's a bar. It still has stability demands like a regular bench would. It's just a cambered, so it's a little bit more range of motion. As far as when it was pretty good. I did 3 sets of 8 with I think 209. Um, Maybe a little bit heavier than I would like, but given that my body is acclimating to the volume, I think it's pretty good. Also, I came in with this session of like, I'm gonna go hard. I think the first half of the week I was a little bit reserved because I'm coming back after a few days off. I haven't done volume in a while. I don't really want to hurt myself, even though my accessories were still hard to the end. As far as like the main movements, I'm still keeping it where it should be for, building technique and building muscle. But the accessories I did go pretty hard on today. I think I'm pulling the weight back a little bit, obviously because I'm starting the block, but also because uh, I'm trying to go through like a technique refinement again, where I feel like for a while maybe my technique was not that good. It's getting a little bit worse. I'm just trying to up the numbers in the log, but I'm also using this beginning block as an excuse to really like make sure that my technique is good and make sure that I'm moving the weight intentionally. And throughout this block, I'm going to attempt to keep it that good while I'm moving up in weight because I feel like it will net me more muscle, as well as I feel like towards the end of the last strength block, I kind of ended up tweaking a lot of stuff here and there because I am just going too hard and getting out of position on on certain exercises, right? Like dumbbell bench for sure is one of those where I'm just going too hard to the point where I'm like protracting my shoulders too much when I'm going to failure on dumbbell bench. Maybe just stopping a rep short of that, not taking it there because I feel like um, it can, you know, hinder my training in the long run. Sorry, I'm putting chapstick on, but I don't know. As far as it goes, I feel like I did well today. My dumbbells looked good. Tempo was good. This is an exercise that I normally don't do, and it normally feels bad. But it was either between this or behind the neck press because it kind of move in the same plane and range. And I was like, you know what? I probably should get into a little bit more unilateral training while I'm here, and maybe this feels different. So I was like adjusting the seat a bit, and then I brought my grip in from where it normally is, and I was like, wow, this feels pretty good on my shoulders and on my triceps too. It was pretty feels like a little bit pretty tricep dominant, and I actually did 2 plates, which is I think the most that I've done is like 2 plates and a 10, like back in the day, because I really have not used that machine. But I think I'm going to try to use a little bit more machines for shoulder movements. I've used Smith. I feel like with high incline, like I like to do it, I kind of turn it into a just something that turns too hard, and it ends up like really messing my elbows up sometimes. So I think the goal is to use more machines this time around and maybe do a standing OHP on one of my days because I do want to progress that. I think having a big standing OHP is good. The only problem that you kind of encounter with that is that it is pretty taxing on your lower back. Um, but I think that the scapula demands and the upper back mobility demands from OHP are something that could benefit me in my squat and my bench. But I don't know. I haven't really found a good place and time to add it in because it is pretty demanding, and it kind of brings its own fatigue as that movement is pretty taxing overall. Um, so we'll see. I do at some point want to do a block of it, maybe in the next block, in the next hypertrophy block, and see where it goes from there. But I think for now I'll stick with the machines. Overall, pretty solid session. I got in there, I went hard, and I got out. Feel like I am getting a little bit leaner from my last weigh-in, which was just yesterday. Uh, I think I'm around 271 right now, so about around 60 pounds downish from the beginning. I'm a little bit short of my goal from, when I said I wanted to be at the end of the year. Kind of a little bit stalling out, holiday eating, stuff like that. But where I want to be and where I am, although they are not aligned currently, it is what it is where I currently am, and I'm just gonna reset the goal and work from here. There's nothing to be ashamed about or disappointed in. The progress that I'm making is good, and overall, to me, the look and the strength matter more than the actual number on the scale. So that is also important. But that's pretty much it for today, guys. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, a comment, or a subscribe. And I will see you tomorrow for some legs. Thanks for watching.